Rammed Earth Walls, presented by Jake Matlich, Trent Hammond, and Brandon Lobo. Table of Contents. Material, Properties, How does it work, Uses, Pros, Cons, and Facts. First off, we have the material. There are 5 basic types used in rammed earth walls: the soil, gravel, sand, silt, clay, and organic materials. The dirt in any given location is generally some combination of most or all of these. Historically, the longest lasting rammed earth walls were made of 70% sand and 30% clay. Before any construction takes place, the soil is tested for suitability. Any unneeded organic materials will be removed from the soil that is to be used in the wall. If the soil on the given location is missing some sort of other soil, it will be brought in and mixed with the existing dirt to create a suitable blend. When analyzing the soil, there are several different tests that are performed. First, the particle determination test, which reveals the relative proportions of sand and silt in the sample. Next is the compaction test, performed by forming a ball of mud and dropping it from a height of 3 feet. The degree at which the ball disintegrates on impact reveals its usefulness in the rammed earth wall. The architect's preference plays a big role in the other materials that may be in the rammed earth wall. The wall can contain old tires stacked in the core of the wall. There can be aluminum cans that are covered in adobe, which is hay and mud. This is done to fill any gaps in the core of the wall. In the past, lime or animal's blood was used to stabilize material as well. In the modern world, today they use lime, cement, or asphalt emulsions, some odd-colored oxides to give color to the wall, or other items that the owner or architect usually uses, such as bottles, tires, pieces of timber to add effect, and many other types of specific materials to add variety to the structure. Properties. Rammed earth walls can be almost as strong as concrete walls. Houses built of rammed earth walls have several advantages over wood frame walls. Rammed earth walls are fireproof, rot-resistant, impervious to termites, and nearly soundproof. They are generally a solid 18 to 24 inches thick. This helps maintain comfortable temperatures within the house during damp temperature swings that normally occur in summer or winter. Rammed earth walls can be very comfortable with up to 80% less energy consumption due to being solar passive. Windows are strategically placed to maximize or minimize the amount of light let into the structure to help heat and or cool certain areas of the structure. Initial construction can be up to 5% to 25% more expensive than wood frame construction. This is because rammed earth walls are very labor intensive. Also, cement can be added to increase the strength at about 1/4 the ratio that would be used to make concrete.
Rammed earth walls work basically the same way concrete does. The concept of a rammed earth wall is the same as a concrete wall, except the material is different. An earth wall is made out of just that, earth. A mixture of dirt, water, and an admixture are the 3 main ingredients in an earth wall. Other main ingredients include chalk, lime, and gravel. These ingredients are mixed together and then poured into formwork the same way concrete is. Once the mixture is poured into the forms, it is then tamped. Tamping is done by using a pneumatic tool that compacts the material to almost half of its original height. This process is repeated until the desired height is reached. By compacting the material, it makes it very dense, which helps with the wall control heat and cold. These walls are very good insulators, which is a good quality for a wall to have. After the material has been poured and tamped, it is then left to dry and harden. Once the material has had time to cure, the formwork is then taken off and stripped clean. After the forms are off, it is a good idea to seal the earth wall to help it cope with the moisture. Rammed earth walls are used mostly for building sustainable and alternative houses. This type of building is a great alternative to the traditional wood-built houses that we see today. A big benefit of using rammed earth walls is the cost is nearly 2/3 that of traditional materials. Other big reasons for using rammed earth walls is to be eco-friendly. There's practically no waste from building an earth wall since you can reuse all the dirt for other portions of the job. Since these walls are cost-effective and are relatively good insulators, they are perfect for low-income and hot areas such as South America.
The negatives of rammed earth walls are definitely, there's a couple things. One would definitely be the cost. It is significantly more than, say, a standard concrete wall. From what we were getting, it's from 5% to 25% difference. It's also very labor intensive. There's a lot more steps involved and needs to be watched much more carefully. And it's much more climate specific. It can't be put anywhere. You're not going to be wanting to run that wall in extremely cold weather, but you also don't really want it in extremely hot weather as well. It's got to be at that perfect point, and the whole point of it is to hold or trap heat, or the opposite, hold cold air. So having it in extremely cold or extremely hot is going to be difficult for that to be achieved. It's also timely. It takes quite a long time. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and those would be the negatives of the wall. Rammed earth walls date back over 10,000 years. They have constructed countless monuments that are still standing to this day. A great example is something that people walk on every day that no one quite realizes how it was made is the Great Wall of China. That was designed and created by rammed earth walls. Romans ended up bringing this thought to Europe and was highly used until the Industrial Revolution, when lumber and timber started becoming a lot more popular and easier to work with. They seemed to drop the rammed earth wall idea. Mass production materials ruined it as well. It was of very large importance of the 20th century. It was constructed for environmental reasons and because it was cheap and easy back in the day, and that was the only thing they really knew how to do until wood came around and became a little more popular. Rammed earth walls are pretty straightforward. There's not too many interesting facts about them. One thing is that they are truly solar passive. They also need no AC or heater in the correct climate. The dirt itself will act as an insulation and cool the place down at the same time, and it will hold a great temperature based on what the engineer decides on the thickness and depth of the whole entire wall, and so on and so on. Another cool tidbit about it is that it's completely sound insulated, so there's no noise getting through that, and overall they're very, very environmentally safe.